Wendy Williams Experience. Trace Magazine did the first interview with Lauryn Hill since she disappeared off the scene. I'm going to cover a little bit of this right here. In May of this year, Ms. Hill has now, she insists on being called, walked unaccompanied by her publicist or assistant, 2.5 hours late into the Upper East Side Manhattan penthouse duplex that Trace had rented for the cover shoot. Almost immediately, she asked our assembled production and editor crews to leave the main room where hundreds of samples of high-end designer clothes, jewelry, and accessories had been frantically curated to create the ultra-sophisticated new look that she requested. I had already interviewed her twice for this magazine. This is the writer speaking, Claude Gruntzizik. Anyway, I had already interviewed her twice for this magazine, 10 and 7 years ago in London and New York. The last time we spoke was for a memorable December 1998 cover story she'd share with D'Angelo. She was 7 months pregnant and with her second child, and on that day of the interview, she had found out that the newly released Miseducation album was the best-selling album in America. Nonetheless, this time around, when I greeted her upon her arrival for what would be the first magazine shoot and interview in years, she sent me off swiftly and said she didn't remember me. I had heard that she doesn't even talk to the 18 musicians she has recruited for her band, and she only speaks to them when giving them orders. Therefore, I was not at all surprised by her new, distant demeanor. She then refused to let our makeup artist touch her face and asked for a replacement to be sent over immediately. Granted, the makeup artist she had requested was not available that day, but I had also heard that on the cover shoot for her upcoming album, which had taken place a few weeks earlier, the glam team had spoken of nightmare experiences. Therefore, our makeup episode was not entirely surprising either. We sent our disappointed Japanese makeup artist home and called in for a last-minute favor. Our replacement, a fan, canceled her plans for that afternoon, hopped on the subway, and rushed from the Bronx. As we would discover on numerous occasions, the fans are out there and they remain devoted to an idol they only know through songs. When the photographer finally got to the shoot, the pictures that would appear in this portfolio more than 6 hours after the Trace team had arrived on the set, Ms. Hill asked for a mirror to be held to the left camera so that she could approve of her own reflective image. Even before the photographer and his assistant were given a chance to frame each picture, the fact that one of our most esteemed fashion assistants would be expected to hold a mirror next to the camera for a cover star was the first, as far as the team was concerned. Our editorial staff, all huge fans of Elle Boogie and Lauryn Hill, were starting to wonder who this Ms. Hill really was and why she was acting like a paranoid, egotistical diva. A series of intense, enlightening, and at times baffling interviews would follow the initial false start. The interview and conversation that fed this 10-chapter story would be conducted over a 2-week period that ended on Lauryn Hill's 30th birthday on May 26, 2005. I realized that Lauryn was a young woman who refused to serve two masters. When everyone around her was telling her to chase the fame and the fortune, she was looking to get closer with God. When she fell in love, she found out that dysfunctional people love dysfunctional people. Dysfunctionally. Although our conversations revealed many traits of a tortured, stimulated, brilliant mind, they would provide some invaluable clues into the contradictions and the machinations behind one of modern music's truest geniuses. Now, I'm not going to read the whole article because it is quite long. I would encourage you to go pick up Trace Magazine, but let me see, I've outlined this. Jason Williams was Lauryn Hill's manager in the glory days, in the late 90s, miseducation days. He met her when she was 17 years old, and they became good friends. Yada, yada, yada. One day, he was unceremoniously fired by his friend turned client. That was around the time she decided to distance herself from most of her close collaborators and associates. I asked him why their relationship turned sour. Well, according to her, I stopped being her friend and just existed as her manager. In some respects, she was right. There are things that you tell your friends when you're not acting right that you wouldn't tell a business partner. And I guess I didn't treat her like a friend, but rather a business partner. In retrospect, I believe I failed her as a friend, not as a business partner. In business, we were close. He goes on to say he has not heard her new music, mainly because he has not felt the need to ask. I hung out with her on and off in October of 2004, but I realized that we have to learn to communicate as friends again. I miss the friendship. Now, currently, Jason Jackson is managing Mos Def and Q-Tip and a promising young Costa Rican singer named Debbie Nova. Lauryn is very uncomfortable with unconscious, materialistic consumer society that we live in because she feels that people are purposely avoiding confrontation in their lives by just consuming all the time in their relentless pursuit of numbness. I was in Manhattan the other day. This is Lauryn. I was in Manhattan the other day, and I saw all these wide screens outside of the subway, and I wondered to myself whether we really need to be marketed to all the time. The world has become one big marketplace, but no one asks where human compassion is gone. I guess that's for sale now. The article is actually quite interesting. I haven't had a chance to read the full article myself. Thank you, Trace Magazine, for sending me this advance of the article, and this is actually in the Trace magazine that is going to be on newsstands. Let me see if I can find the front cover. Anyway, the issue is called Black Girls Rule. That's the theme of this particular issue, and I don't know when it's going to be on the newsstands. You know what? It's the next one out. Art just passed me a note, and it says, she's acting like Miles Davis did, exactly like he did. This will only make her legend bigger. Yeah, well, she's already established legend. Here's the front cover. $5.99 for Trace magazine. Who's crazy, Trace or Lauryn?
Both.
Oh, no. But you know what? This issue is worth picking up if for the Lauryn interview exclusively. And really, it's worth picking up because it's Black Girls Rule. And Lauryn's on the cover with that crazy Beatles wig. And it says Lauryn Hill Worldwide. I don't see what issue this is. The actual issue is not, but you know what? It's the next one on the newsstand. And in it, she talks about life. She talks about love. She talks about hate, God. She flips the interviewer's position around, and then Lauryn starts interviewing the interviewer. There's something here titled The Promise, The Death, The Education, The Miseducation. To me, it's worth picking up. Hey, how about that Janice Dickinson, boy? Boy, I'll tell you, boy. Wendy, I need a big favor. I have a bet with this gentleman that I can find women's shoes that fit a size 17 foot. What are you all up to over there? How you doing? Do you know where I could possibly locate a shoe this size? No. Michelle? I mean, I'm a size 5 compared to a size 17. I just sashay into the store and pick up my size 5. No, Michelle, I don't know. I would say perhaps custom. Oh, you know what? Shout out to Evil Diva. The answer to your question, Evil Diva, is absolutely yes. Art, read the Evil Diva's facts. It's one sentence, and then you give her your answer, and then we'll move on. In the meantime,
yes.
Okay, there you go. In the meantime, I'm wearing, pass it back to Shakira, our Ride or Die Friday chick from the intern pool.
That's right.
Shakira? Oh, she says, ooh. Like you never thought of that as a theory. A theor-damn-ry. Oh, hell to the no. Who says that? Oh, hell to the no. That's Whitney Houston, boy. Oh, hell to the no. Evil Diva, yes. Jennifer Aniston collapsed on the set of her new movie. Well, she was diagnosed as having heat stroke. And They say she was walking around with a sad look on her face and not acting her natural self. And between takes, she sat at the table with her head in her hands, yada, yada, yada. And then she collapsed from heat stroke. I'm sorry to hear about what happened. I'm wearing my Team Aniston shirt today. Did I tell you all about Mace? Now, I know I talked about this on the bonus hour yesterday. Okay. Me and my peoples, we were in Philly last week, and we stayed at the Four Seasons, which is on Spring Garden, in Philly.
Yeah.
And who should we see sashaying through the lobby with a very flamboyantly how you doing friend, but Mace and Betha. And Mace was just
and Step
right, just queening out with his friend. Didn't realize he was being watched. I was gagging. I was with like 4 other dudes. 2 of them didn't even realize it was Mace just thought it was like a show going on. They weren't doing anything but, laughing. It looked like they had just come from the elevator. And they, the elevator, which was not in our sight, they just came from the elevator, it looked like. And they were rounding the corner in the lobby. And we were coming in from outside. It was around 11:45, maybe 12:15, somewhere around Wednesday late night going into Thursday morning. Now, and I'm giving you the celebrity sighting because I saw it for myself. As soon as Mace saw us, he straightened right up. Of course, his queenie friend, there was, apparently, always out of the closet, didn't know how to straighten up or whatever. But anyway, so how you doing, Mace? Your card has been officially pulled. You can't dispute it because I saw it myself. No, I didn't see you kissing him. No, I didn't see you hugging him. But I did see you acting right type Quady with him, just laughing, and Mace touched him with a laughter like this. Where your wrist bends a little too much as you, the touch.
Ow.
I mean, it was just all the walk, the rainbow swag and the whole bit, and I saw it myself. You ask Mace. That would be the lobby of the Four Seasons last Wednesday in Philly. How you doing? So Eminem and 50 Cent tour kicked off yesterday in Indianapolis. They're doing 22 cities, the anger management tour. The lineup is heavy, probably including, all them, Young Buck and whatnot, but also including Little John, East Side Boys, Little Scrappy. And people are hoping, the combined sales between Eminem and 50 Cent, 8.7 million copies. So, that's going to be a big tour. I just wanted to pass that along to you. When does the Run DMC reality show start on MTV?
Oh.
I know you're asking that. It premieres in the fall. Reverend Run and his family, that premieres in the fall. To me, that's as interesting as being Bobby Brown. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's as interesting as being Bobby Brown. And he's got his solo CD coming out on September 13th. So probably all around the same time, everything will be happening. September 13th. It's called Distortion. And that's through the Russell Simmons music group, Island Def Jam. Are you the girl? Do we care?
No.
Not even mildly?
Okay, a little bit.
See, I care enough that if I watch and it's boring, then I'll turn away. No disrespect to Missy with the cookbook, because I like Missy as a person. I love her as an artist. I think she's so creative, and her videos are so. And she's just in a league by herself. You can't really lump her with the other rap chicks or whatever. And I just enjoy the entertainment value that Missy brings to anything, whether it's coming out to accept. Damn, it's a wrap up. Anyway, Are You the Girl? We're already starting to see the commercials. So let's keep our eyes out for that too. Okay, we'll be right back. Shout out to Trace Magazine, though. Thank you for the Lauryn Hill love.
It's Wendy, man.
You never met me. You don't know me. You ain't been in my house. You don't live with me. You don't sleep with me. You don't do shit with me, but talk about me. Why can't you say? That's all, baby girl. That's all I'm asking you is why can't the you say?
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Hey, y'all, this is Luther Vandross on 107.5, and I love saying this, WBLS.
Yo, did you catch this flashback?
I remember back when I was in high school, back in the back of the magazine, High Times, they used to have this joint roller. I got me a P.O. box over there at the Ocean Township Post Office. And I ordered it.
Wow. Step by step, huh?
This is before I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, that wasn't even high school. That was 8th grade.
This it right here. Miss a day, miss a whole lot. Coming through your speakers, boy. It's Wendy, man.
Oh, it's the Wendy Williams Experience, everyone. I want to thank you for listening today. I had a fabulous time. God, it's just been lousy weather here in New York all day long. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, gosh, I know I have a party tonight, which a party always gets me in a great mood. I have my drinks, the loud music, the people. It's my CD party, which, is tonight at Foxwoods Hotel and Casino in Connecticut. Shout out to everybody who listens up there. In actually, you know what? Foxwoods is closer to New York than Atlantic City. So shout out to everybody in the whole, New York, Connecticut, Jersey tri-state area. Hopefully I'll be seeing all of you all up there at Foxwoods tonight. It's the CD release party for Wendy Williams Brings the Heat Volume 1, my CD, which is in stores right now. For those of you who've already picked it up, thank you so much. And, you guys have had such kind words to say. This is my first effort in music making. And not that I made any of the music, but, as one of the executive producers on the album, I was in charge of picking who I wanted to be on the album. And there's 15 tracks and everybody's different, from Young Jeezy and Blue Da Vinci and Nas and A. Marie and Mario Winans and Marcus Houston and Jaheim and Jadakiss and Beanie Man and Gorilla Black and Brooke Valentine and just, and me. No, I'm doing spoken word on the Mario Winans song. It's 45 seconds. I don't interrupt the artist in their true form of artistry. But, if you haven't picked it up, listen, it's the weekend. You might, okay, you understand what I'm trying to get at. But tonight, we're celebrating the CD in Hartford not in Hartford, but I'm not even sure what town Foxwoods is in. But anyway, in Foxwoods Hotel and Casino. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be in New Haven, Connecticut, doing a book signing from noon to 2 p.m. at Lancey. Is it called Lancey? I can't read Nicole's writing. Lancey Music Box. I'll give you the address. 1621 Chapel Street in New Haven. Do you know that place? All right, I'll be there between 12 noon and 2 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday the 9th. Oh, and then Sunday is a big, big day in my life. Because my channel VH1, they got all that stuff going on. Hogan Knows Best, the season premiere of Surreal Life, and Celebrity Fit Club. So I don't know what you all are going to be doing on Sunday night, but if you're sitting in the middle of the bed with a plate of cheese and a nice diet iced tea and a few grapes, just let's think we're all on this community bed together watching and eating and watching and eating. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, let me see. We already covered that Biggie's case, the wrongful death case, is a mistrial after the 3 days of testimony. I just wanted to be clear on that. It was declared a mistrial, and the family is not prepared to comment. There's no new trial date set. Tonight is the final farewell. Actually, today is the final farewell of Luther Vandross. And tonight at, I think it's 9:30 at night, or it might be 10:30. I'm not sure. Anyway, up at the Apollo Theater. The Apollo Theater is going to be putting Luther's name in lights, and they're going to be keeping his name in lights, there probably for the whole weekend. But there's kind of like a vigil, a last farewell, and I'm sure 125th Street is going to be a madhouse tonight. Probably no driving, just a bunch of people, standing out there. I would imagine with candles, despite the rain, because Luther just gave of himself so much for us. So, I want to stop by there tomorrow. I mean, I'll be up in, what does this say, Arthur? Luther's last Apollo Amateur Night.
He actually lost that 5 times. Look at him now.
He lost the Apollo Amateur Night 5 times?
5 times.
Wow. Well, I mean, you know what? There's no accounting for. I mean, what some people say isn't talent can turn out to be the biggest thing, and Luther certainly was, and a testament to that. So, rest in peace, Luther. Shout out to Mrs. Vandross, and shout out to Oprah and Patty for standing by our dude, and shout out to all the celebrities and his supporters, and a special shout out to you guys. If you're in New York City and you want to be a part of a moment, a movement, to go down in history, the Apollo Theater is the place to be tonight. Outside, not inside, just to kind of keep the peace with your lighters and your candles or whatever, and remember Luther. Had I mentioned to you all earlier, what am I doing for time, Art? That Corey Clark is not going to be charged in that food fight that he had at the hotel that got out of control. Well, supposedly he had this food fight, and he, at one point, because of it, he was facing 6 months in jail and $1,000 fine. But the prosecutor, Lana Wyatt, out in Sacramento County, made the decision not to pursue the misdemeanor against Corey Clark. The incident happened on June 25th. There was an argument going down with a record company executive named Laura Kathleen Troy. She's 34. And Corey Clark. The record company in question is CDC Records, and they were arguing while they were eating a room service breakfast at the Sacramento Sheraton Grand Hotel. Corey threw the food and dishes, and Laura, the record executive person, threw the food and grabbed. I wish somebody would. You know what I'm saying? Like, normally you think that that's supposed to be the artist because we're sensitive about our ish. You know what I mean? And crazy. But the record executive, was actually the one who threw the food first and the dishes, and then Corey threw food and dishes back at her, and there were red marks on her arm, I guess, where Corey yoked her up. And but she was uncooperative with the police, and she also didn't want to press charges, so everything was dismissed. So, once again, we're talking about this Corey Clark. You know what story I neglected to tell you guys about yesterday? I don't even have time to get into it. We're going to have to wait until... You know what? I had a dream last night? Uh-oh. Oh, my gosh. And I guess this is because they're promoting that fruit and walnut salad. I had a dream that I walked into a McDonald's. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning after a party. And Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle were behind the counter working. And I congratulated Michelle on landing the Gap ad. Yeah, Michelle is the new Gap spokesperson. I don't know when her commercials start. Maybe they already have. Joss Stone is no longer the spokesperson, so everything lasts for a moment, and then they move on. And she's going to be doing her version of Al Green's song "Let's Stay Together" for the new Gap commercial. So I congratulated Michelle, and then I saw Kelly pick her nose and put it in my sandwich, and I saw Beyonce spit in it. And then Michelle just kind of was like the block, but she's so skinny you could see around her and through her, so I saw it all. I don't remember what I did after that. Maybe the alarm clock went off, I had to get up, I don't know. But anyway, you all have a fabulous weekend. I love you for listening, and we will, God willing, be together again on Monday. You take it easy. Bye-bye.
Peace party people. See you later.
Cause I'm saying bye-bye.
Good night. Program complete.
Dance with my father again.
Sharing the memories. Celebrating the life of Luther. WBLS, New York. Since you've been listening this far, we're going to throw in a little bonus hour. You ready?
How long is this bonus hour gonna last? I'm getting addicted.
No, let me tell you, I love this extra hour.
Everything is organic here on the bonus hour.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, yo, check this out. It's Wendy, man.
Here it is.
It's the bonus hour on the Wendy Williams Experience.
107.5 WBLS, New York.
Okay. Damn. It's Friday. Welcome to the weekend, you all. What are you doing? I was just telling you all a few moments ago I'm going to Foxwoods tonight. Then I have a book signing. A CD signing. Wendy Williams Brings the Heat Volume 1. The CD signing at Lancy Music Box on 1621 Chapel Street in New Haven, Connecticut tomorrow from noon to 2. And then when I get back from there, I got to go shopping for tiles. Yeah, I'm working on another house project. So, by the way, have you guys heard about this new show called Murder in the Hamptons? It's based on a true story of sex, money, and murder. Ooh. Well, it's actually, it's not a new show. It's a movie on Lifetime. I'm putting this in my Monday schedule. Monday, it comes on at 9 o'clock. And listen to the other sayings in the ad. I wrote this ad, I think, out of, I don't know, one of my women's magazines. It says, they have so much more to kill for. The rich are different from the rest of us. It's starring Poppy Montgomery, who I love. She's cute. David Sutcliffe, never heard of him, and Sean Christian. Never heard of him either. But it's on Lifetime on Monday. Before I had the baby, I was such a Lifetime woman. Now I just passed. If I see something, I might sit and watch a full Lifetime movie maybe once every 2 months. And there was a time when I was a Lifetime girl, like all the time. I like the movies better than the shows. Like, shout out to Viv Fox, too. I encourage you to watch Missing. But, I've never seen that show. I hear it's a really good show. I think it comes on like 10 o'clock at night. I am so into the UPN 9 news, except for Thursdays when I'm watching Being Bobby Brown, of which I was doing that last night. But then I caught the second half of the news because then they repeated the first episode of Being Bobby Brown at 10:30. And I totally wasn't watching BET last night because I was out at dinner. But BET had the Michael Jackson thing. Did anybody see that? Did you see that, Art?
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Oh, you were at your spoken word.
Right. And bowling.
And bowling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, doubleheader last night. Anyway, if you care to watch, I know I'll be there on Monday night. Murder in the Hamptons. It's based on a true story. Sex, money, and murder. All three topics. This show, we're based on sex, money, and murder, and toe is a toe. But I guess that encompasses the sex. Speaking of toe is a toe, let's just finish off Superhead, and I don't want to talk about this anymore. We talked about this earlier in the show. Okay. I've got it on the best authority you all could possibly. Method Man is Papa.
Official.
And there is a daughter. Why do I still feel like I am obliged to say alleged? All right, I'll say alleged just to, appease Mr. Sutton and, the other people who hold all the purse strings here at the big WBLS. So Method Man and his wife have allegedly a daughter that Superhead and Method Man had together. Now, Art, if you would please leave the room, locate the Superhead book, and come back so we could do the passage where she describes. I haven't read the book yet. Now I don't even have any interest in reading the book, but you were telling me in the book, as she described Papa had like chinky eyes or whatever you were telling me, right?
Right. He had chinky.
All right, no. Fan out. Go get the book. Is the book here?
Well, mine is at home, but I'll see if somebody got a copy in the back.
All right, well, and do it fast and come back quickly. I'm losing interest quickly. Anyway, okay, so that's one thing. The book deal was for, and I'll say alleged to all of this, okay? So we could just lay this to rest. I didn't ask her what her book deal was for. I'm in the book world. It was actually for a lot lower than I thought, but I definitely knew that it wasn't for $7.9 million. I don't even know where that came from. I never heard her say that. Her book deal was for, allegedly, I'll say again, $50,000. Allegedly, she did have sex for $400 with Magic Johnson. Allegedly, in the parking lot of UCLA, he offered her $1,000 if he could, raw dog it. Yeah, I've been told. Listen. I know people, or should I say, two people. I mean, I can be challenged on this, but just remember, all the fallout, all the DNA tests, you're not going to win that easily with me. So, just, and I don't want any sidebar phone calls from no damn body. Shaq never deposited $10,000 in her bank account or purchased furniture for her. He rented her a car and gave her a used TV.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Tigger, allegedly, we already talked about Tigger. and the bloody sheets and the ripped up booty.
Oh.
She was with allegedly Ludacris and Nelly, but never named their names in the book. And guess what? And you get the bomb ready. G-Rap may not be the father. She's now running behind white boys in Hollywood, including this Bill Maher. Owen Wilson is also on the voicemail and never called her back. Allegedly, there is abuse towards Junior. Allegedly. And I will also say that I got it on good authority, but I'll throw in allegedly again, that allegedly this book is 80% lies.
Tabloid.
And by the way, shout out to Puffy and Farnsworth Bentley, because I know all about you two and then Superhead's participation. But I know all that you two. Hit whatever button you see appropriate over there.
How you do?
All right. Now, can we please stop talking about this? Can we please just put it to rest? Please, celebrities or whatever, don't call and challenge me on this one, because you try to come for me and it's going to be real ugly. I've been doing this damn near 20 years. You know, and I'm not crazy. And I'm not just talking. I'm saying. Allegedly. $50,000. That's no kind of deal. That's like a... Man, they treat her like a street urchin over there at her label. What label is that? Let me avoid them like the plague. Cheap bastards. What is that, Armistead Books? That's a subsidiary of... Jeez Louise, $50,000 to write a book and purge your story. I wish somebody would. I'm not with H.B. Simon Schuster anymore, but you know what I'm saying? Thank you for treating a sister proper like. To purge my soul. You know what? She would be best going with the white boys now, though, because she's got no more future on this side of the tracks. She, you know, the Wives Club wants to beat her behind. The men want to beat her behind. I'm sure Method Man and his wife right now are going through it. And the little girl, Nyla. And she never denied having a daughter. And I'm telling you on good authority that allegedly. I'm just saying that for Mr. Sutton. Allegedly. And damn, Magic. Allegedly. And Shaq, I mean, you look the best in my final report from my good authorities, because, you know, for her to be saying that, you know, she did you so good and then you deposited $10,000 in her bank account because, you know, she said compared to your size that your Richard was, you know, just average. She was expecting something monstrous like your biceps or something like that, I guess.
Wow.
But you came off the best because you ain't a trick. You didn't give her no $10,000 damn dollar. Good. He rented her a car. She said $10,000 and purchased her furniture. What a hoe. He rented her a car and gave her a used TV. Oh, Tigger, I guess between you and Method Man, you all are probably like the drop a bomb. A double bomb. And hey, Farnsworth.
How you doing?
I don't know why she kept Ludacris and Nelly's name out. I mean, she dropped everybody else's name. Ja Rule, she ripped apart his household. And she could say all she wants that Mrs. X knew and all like that. Nobody wants it to be out there. Even if you do have that kind of arrangement, you want it to come out of your mouth, not some tramp's mouth. And she needs to run behind the white boys. But guess what? Don't nobody want you. You are used goods. And don't nobody want you after you've been running after dirty rappers, too. You know how they already feel about us in general. So now, to find out that, you know, you were with dirty rappers, ugh. She said she loves Bill Maher and that they're in love and stuff. Guess what? Bill Maher doesn't even like kids. So how is she going to ever incorporate in Bill Maher's life? She has her son. Oh, I forgot. She doesn't spend that much. Well, allegedly. Don't nobody want you, Superhead. I feel sorry for you, in conclusion. I feel very sorry for you because you are looking for love and you've soiled yourself for any love. Black, white, young, old, whatever. You would be best off finding an old, feeble man like Anna Nicole Smith did. And even she wasn't. I'm not even comparing you to Anna Nicole Smith because compared to you, she looks like a saint. But, some feeble old man who just, and if he's feeble and old, he probably can't even get the best usage out of the Superhead. You know what I mean? I told her to get her C cups zhuzhed up to a double D. Ooh. Wear it. Like, why are you even wondering? You got your money. You're getting your money a certain way in life. You need to, zhuzh it up. Well, I guess that's my final report, on Superhead. I have no more to say. Except for, damn, all this for $50,000. Jeez, people want to kick your ass. People wanting to kill you. Your meal ticket, looking at you probably all crazy now. I'm sure Bill Maher is too, although he probably doesn't lounge in Negroidian radio, so she might have been able to hide all this from him. But, all this for $50,000. When she pays taxes on it, even if she gets it put into her company. If she's formed a company, she walks away with $30,000? Jeez Louise. Was it really worth it? Only thing the LA knows about the book is if they happen to be listening to the show, the 4-hour show on 100.3 The Beat on my show. But I'm sure Sally has locked jaw on it. No, you know what? Sally probably didn't lock jaw on it because Sally was mentioned in it just as her friend, not as sex. But I don't believe any of that because she mentioned Magic Johnson as a friend and not as sex either. But you know why she did that? Because, the monster. Then she'll be associated with two things. Snitching / hold'em, and the monster. And she said she never got any STDs. Just one big old king crab sitting right there on her cat trap. Just munching away. Ow. Oh, Superhead for the seafood lover in you. Any parting words on this? Okay, good. Case closed, people. I know it's going to reopen again on Monday, just for a moment, because Heather Hunter's coming to the show. I've never seen the Heather Hunter do what the Superhead is doing. And Heather Hunter is legendary. She is the Black Jenna Jameson. She, and she admits, thank God, to her porn starishness, whereas the Superhead said, damn, am I opening the Superhead file again? Yeah. All right, just one more time. Superhead said, what's that man's name? Mr. Who? Mr. Long? Marcus. Oh, that's from Black Sheep. No, Mr. Marcus, the porn star, you all. So Superhead talks about everything in her book except for the list that I just ran down to you. It's quite a bit, though. We cracked a big case.
Oh, yeah.
But Mr. Marcus, right? So in her book, she says, yeah, she's writing in her book, I was in a movie called
Mr. Marcus's Neighborhood.
No. The one with
Man Apart with Lorenz Tate.
With Lorenz Tate, called A Man Apart.
Right.
And that's all she adds to her acting credits. So I swoop down and say, what about Mr. Marcus's Neighborhood, where you starred as his lover named Honey? Yeah. Which, by the way, the whole show has multiple copies of it, and to prepare for the Superheads interview, we were all assigned to watch it the night before the interview, not all together, in our separate areas. Yeah. I was home with my cheese plate, and
I was home with my napkins.
Art was home with his napkins. I guess Trev Hollywood was home, whatever. Mm. And so Mr. Marcus, so you know what she said? And now Mr. Marcus is like he's a legendary underground type black porn star. Would you say? Is he big? See, I don't watch all that. Like, I don't get all, if it's not on the Spice Channel, like, I'm not out purchasing and connoisseuring. And yes, I have seen Heather Hunter, but who hasn't? That's like, somebody who hasn't seen Jenna Jameson, But she says, she got kind of caught off guard, and she said, Well, he was my boyfriend when I first got to LA or something like that. And I didn't realize that we were being taped when we were having sex. She zhuzhed over that real quick. But because of time constraints here with the show and my breaks and that's why I love the bonus hour, because I can luxuriate in conversation. How long have I been talking already? 15 minutes and 30 seconds, see. I have to get it out quick. I don't have time for all this back talk. You know, I mean, if we're going to talk again, then, you know, she can come back up here for her second book. This might be the only place that she can promote it. I mean, if she dares. I felt as though I was a lady, you know, but I also, gave my opinion. At the end of the interview, I did pull out a banana and asked her to show me what she does. And she tried to get all church on me. That is a life I put in my past. Well, I bet you did. You were forced to go into retirement because nobody wants that anymore. You're a snitch. So even your repeat offenders, Ja Rule with his hand full of E-pills and all them, you know, Irv Gotti and them, I guess, you know, the Magic Johnsons and whatnot. Now they know that you snitch. And if I was Method Man's wife and in her position, and shout out to her, I know her through phone conversation and stuff. And, you know, I'm not going to say more, but I can just say that she and I have spoken before, and she seems to be a really nice lady. And from what I understand, she's not doing well right now. I'm not sure of what form of not doing well, but, you know, she's a nice lady, and she and I have had, you know, conversations, and, you know, this is, yeah. I mean, she's going to live. It's not like that. All right. But just shout out to Method Man's wife. And if I were you, in your particular position, you know, where he was your love from way back in the day, and, you know, you are a stay-at-home mom, so, you know, you don't have a means of a career and to, you know, continue on with your life to luxuriate and stuff. And if my husband was a rapper and you know, allegedly had a baby with Superhead, the best thing to do would be, you know, not take it out on the baby, bring that baby into our home, let's adopt it, because that would eliminate all visitation for the Superhead to get super on her knees again with my husband and perhaps produce more and all like that. And that would be a way of just putting Superhead right over there. And now incorporating the little girl into the family, and then just keep it like that. It's almost worth admitting to, if allegedly it's true. It's almost worth admitting to, because it just puts Superhead on lock, kind of. You know what I mean? And it stops a witch hunt of who is the daughter's father and all like that. But, you know, allegedly. Shout out to Method Man. Please don't bother calling. Please. G-Rap said he may not be the father, and now, you know, it's on good authority that, hey, maybe not. She won't take a test. Art was sharing that with me. Not that Art is one of my two main sources, but she won't take a test. So why won't you take a test? What do you have to hide? Why won't you take a test? And I know she said to me that he's the father. The little boy looks just like him. But you know what? Sometimes, like, if a woman picks a particular type, like I like a type. You know, I love all types of men, all shades and all, you know, baldy braids, you know, all like that. But I do notice that there is a similarity between my lover, LL Cool J, who despite everything I think is a good-looking man. There's a similarity there in looks, in tribe looks, in a tribe. Listen, in a tribe. Mac 10. There's like a similarity there that if I had a baby by any one of the three, or any one of these two, say I jumped off with LL, I could pass the baby off as being, you know, my husband. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, you stick in a tribe.
Yeah, you stick with a tribe. Unless they're paying, in which case you get stuck by who has the money. Right. But $400 for a phone bill in a parking lot, hooker, please. and $1,000 to run raw door. Mm-hmm. And Owen Wilson don't want that. Or second thought, maybe he would, because he is not. He's like a real white boy, and probably has no idea what the superhead is truly all about. Well, you better capitalize on white Hollywood while you can, honey. You have between now and perhaps Christmas to run through as many people as you possibly can and get that second book turned out by next season. Because them boys aren't running back to you the way the hood is right now. Because you got angry, just regular women. You got angry hip-hop wives. You've got angry hip-hop artists and the likes. I mean, like you know what I mean? So you can get away with this out there in Hollywood, with the white people. Bill Maher let you get away with it, too. You don't know now. Take advantage of me. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell you yesterday? Remember when we were talking about Mariah Carey's sister? I actually talked about this story maybe 3 days ago. Oh, and maybe 3 days ago. And then I saw on the UPN 9 News last night, after I watched Being Bobby Brown, that they had the story of Mariah Carey's sister on the news. The sister was, arrested for prostitution, and she is HIV positive. They didn't say that part on the news, but Allison has been HIV positive for many years. I had a conversation with her quite some time back. She's since at least 1995. She's been living with HIV. But Lee Remini, now you know her. She's one of our favorite actresses here on the show. Don't you love her, Leah? She plays on The King of Queens. Remember, she used to have guest stints on the Facts of Life and stuff, and she also starred on a show called Models back in the day with Halle Berry. Leah, tough talking Brooklyn girl. I love her. She's a friend in my head. Anyway, she's got this no good sister. Well, there's no accounting for people in your family. I mean, I'm sure Leah, because she's close with her sister and her mom and the people in her family. Who is this? Hey, we're recording. What do you have, studio time?
He's a locksmith.
Oh, you're the locksmith. Oh, well, yes. No, we need a lock. Go ahead. Yes, of course. And you can use your electric drill and everything. No, the back of his shirt doesn't say Lummox.
No, it's Mario Lemieux, the hockey player.
Oh. you're like your Lummox.
Yeah.
Oh, Lemieux, the hockey player. How you doing?
Good. How you feeling?
I'm doing well. What locksmith company do you work for? American Locksmith. Now, are you here just for this lock, or are you going to do that lock over there?
Just this one for now.
Do you think that if we slipped you a few extra dollars, that you can put a lock on both doors?
Why? What's wrong with your door?
Well, the other door, I had my very own locksmith come in from New Jersey to put a lock on the door so I could lock my program director, Vinny Brown, out of the studio when he would come in and try to put a stop, or interrupt the show or whatever. Hey, Vin, we're past those days. But I don't know why it is that you kept the lock off the door, because now it's like if there's danger, Will Robinson going on in the studio. Hey, listen, one of the studios I was visiting out in Chicago, they got a lock on the door that you have to open with a key. You can literally lock yourself in there, but it has to be with the key. Just in case somebody runs up in the station and wants to,
In the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night or the middle of the day. Yeah. And that's a hip-hop R&B station. I mean, right here, we're classic, soul. Freddie Jackson is not coming up here with the hammer. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
How you doing?
Vinny takes the lock off the door because he and we were in a very tumultuous fight at that particular time. He took the lock off the door so I couldn't lock him out of the studio anymore. Then we make up. We go in and out of bad fighting maybe once every 3 months. Then we make up. He keeps the lock off the door. I have my locksmith, because, at home, there's locks on every single door in the house, and they get changed like every 4 months. I'm talking about inside the house and outside the house. The official locksmith type locks, not some old, you take a credit card and, like that. So I have my locksmith come in from Jersey and put another lock on the door on one of Vinny's days off. When the weekend was over and came back, the lock was removed from the door, and now there's just a cylinder there that just turns around and around and around, leaving me vulnerable, not just to the killers, but to Vinny.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How much would it cost to, get another lock, a pick-proof lock?
Something like this?
Yeah, something like that.
Pick-proof?
Yes.
I can check for you.
Okay.
They're like 200 and change.
About 200 and change?
Yeah.
How you do it?
All right.
How you do it?
Oh.
All right.
Is how you doing?
Ow.
Wait, let me wait, hold on. Let me do my test. Hello. What did you say your name was?
Alfredo.
Alfredo. All right. Oh, he's married.
No.
Oh, you're single.
Yeah.
You have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
4.
Wow.
I started young.
Yeah, you did. Wow.
Do you like Cher?
Yeah, do you like Cher?
Cher, yeah.
Do you like Donna Summer?
Cher, yeah. Donna Summer, yeah.
How you do it?
Yeah, do you like Diana Ross?
Yeah.
Case closed, people.
How you do it?
All right. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I learned from the best.
You know what I'm saying? It takes a person who loves Cher to know. You would know, Art.
That's right.
Art sniffed it out immediately. I wasn't even on that road. Oh my gosh, are we way past our time? Okay, good. All right, let's get back to Lee Remini. So she's suffering a personal heartache right now. Her sister was arrested on serious drug charges. The sister's name is Elizabeth Remini, and she's 28, and she was placed in a jail in New Hanover County, North Carolina, back in March after she was charged with 5 felony counts of cocaine possession and trafficking the drug. She was released after 3 days on $50,000 bail. Now, this is what she says. I got myself into a bad situation, which I am now taking responsibility for, and my sister stands 100% behind me. Now, Donna Remini, who happens to be Leah's stepmother and Elizabeth's mom, says this. Leah is distraught. She has tried over the years to reach out to Elizabeth and help her straighten out her life. Right up to the arrest, she was in close contact with Elizabeth, offering her help in any way she possibly could. Elizabeth visited Leah in Los Angeles, and just 2 years ago, when Leah was in New York to shoot some scenes for the show, she invited Elizabeth down to the set. Because she looks so much like Leah, they even used Elizabeth for a few scenes where Leah was shot from behind. Everything reverts back to the superhead. Shot from behind. Okay. But Elizabeth has always followed the beat of a different drum, and she wouldn't listen to anyone, not even Leah, and now she's facing prison. Now, Donna, Leah's stepmom, is married to Leah's divorced father, George Remini, and together, Donna and George had 2 daughters, Elizabeth and Stephanie. Now, Leah's mother's name is Vicky. And, do I have lipstick all over my teeth? No. Oh, my God. Anyway, I'm sorry to hear that. She does look a lot like Leah. I love Leah Remini. Did I tell you guys yesterday? Maybe I didn't. I'm letting you know today. Hey, Mr. Locksmith?
Yes?
Do you love Broadway plays? Just say
some
yes.
of them, yes.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in The Color Purple on Broadway?
The Color Purple, yeah.
See?
That's gotta come forward.
Yeah, well, The Color Purple is coming to Broadway. The previews begin October 25th, and opening day is scheduled for December 1st. This is big. You know what? I know what I'm going to give my parents for Christmas. I hope they're not listening. Color Purple, and then I put them in a hotel. Like I give them like for the anniversary. It's like the easiest thing to give them. You give them play tickets, a hotel room, and a dinner. You know, it's someplace nice. You call ahead and you give your credit card to like Tavern on the Green or something like that. It's like nice and a no-brainer, and it's something that they can both enjoy. You know, when you get a little bit older, what else? Can you give your mother another damn bracelet from the Diamond collection at QVC? And even if I zhuzhed it up to real diamonds, doesn't that step on my father's toes? See, I'm very careful about stuff like that. And I've given my mother some nice jewelry and stuff, but I always, in a weird way, I always feel like I have to check with my father. Like, Daddy, is this stepping on your toes if I give this to Mommy? You know, because you're her sweetheart. It's just weird. It is. I haven't given my mother a lot of nice jewelry, but a few good pieces. You know, real. And I always check with my father. Oh, I feel like I have to. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know,
That's his girlfriend.
That's his girlfriend. I'll just leave it at that. I have a few more smart things to say, but I won't. Respect to Old Crow Entertainment. But, you know, I just feel like something like play tickets is like a great gift to give to the parents because you're not stepping on anybody's toes. And they love to, you know, like walk and they hold hands and they walk through Times Square and whatnot. And they go to H&M. They go to all the haunts. My mother loves to go to Marmee Shoes. And I, you know, ahead of time, like I'll call Jane at Marmee Shoes and say, all right, my mother's coming in. Not that I'm paying for the shoes, but just, you know, she's going to be a little bit of a mensch. You know, just have a nice seat for my father. And my mother will be there trying on 25 pairs of shoes only to walk away with none. Oh, she's like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Or to say, well, you know, I'll wait until, when is the end of the season sale? You know, and then, well, do you think you could hold these for me until the end of the season sale? And she's so nice, nobody wants to tell her, we're not holding shoes for you. They're having a 50% off sale now, though. 50 to 70% off, actually. But I say all that to say the color purple. I don't think we ever told this crowd about Whoopi Goldberg calling your cell phone yesterday.
Oh, easy.
Speaking of color purple. Okay, so we can take a break now, and we'll talk about this next. It's the Wendy Williams Experience featuring the Locksmith. How you doing? On 107.5 WPLS.
Hi, everybody. It's the Biz Monkey. You're checking out the bonus hour of Wicked Wendy Williams.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Wendy Williams Experience here on 107.5 WBLS. I hope that you've enjoyed our Luther Vandross Tribute Day so far today. Don't forget tonight, the Apollo Theater is the place to be. Right outside on 125th Street, Luther's name will go up in lights. I believe they said at 9:30 or it might have been 10:30. You know what? Go to apollotheater.com. I'm sure you could find out. Or maybe if you just call the Apollo, they might have it there on the voicemail. And find out what time. And BLS has been doing a tribute to Luther all day, but nobody does it like Vaughn Harper. And he comes up in a very few minutes with The Quiet Storm. Vaughn is going to turn the mother out with stories about Luther and lots of songs. And so grab your Kleenex and check out Vaughn Harper at 7 o'clock right after me. Now, ring, ring, ring goes Art's cell phone yesterday during the show. He's like one of the few people who actually gets cell phone service here at 3 Park Avenue in the WBLS Wendy Williams building. And high atop the 41st floor. Oh, shoot. And he's over there drilling. Yeah. He's got a good lean on the door. Why? Is there a problem with the stance? He's drilling a lock. Oh. Would you like me to leave the room and keep you all together? Please. All right, so ring, ring, ring goes Art's cell phone. And it's a Whoopi Gold. Oh, gosh. Ring, ring, ring goes my cell phone. I don't get service, though, so I don't know why people bother calling me during the actual show. Let's see, this is a 718 number. Hello? Hi, I'm in the middle of doing something right now. I don't know who this is, but can you please call... Who? Oh, okay. Jackie, you know what? Can I call you back in a very few moments? Okay, terrific. All right, bye-bye. That's Jackie O. She's a legendary journalist. I don't know if you know who she is. I just throw out legendary because I love the word legendary. But it's not the Jackie O from Miami. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so Arthur's cell phone rung, and it was a comedian named Tadao on the three-way with it was Art, Tadao, and Whoopi Goldberg's daughter.
Yeah.
And apparently Whoopi Goldberg's daughter is very upset. She believes in her head that I said some not so nice things about her, which I haven't talked about Whoopi Goldberg's daughter.
Yeah, their source was wrong.
Well, what did they say that I said?
They said they heard that you said some disparaging remarks about their daughter, but they heard it from somebody. They didn't hear it themselves.
Okay. And so I put that to rest because I know it wasn't me. I mean, I do a lot of stuff, and I'll be a woman and be accountable. And then, ring, ring, ring goes my cell phone last night when I was on my way from the city going home from dinner, and it was Art saying that he just got off the phone with Whoopi Goldberg, who rung his cell phone just moments before he called me, asking to speak to Artie Evans. She called him Artie with a Y.
No, with the IE.
With an IE. Excuse me. The how you doing way.
Oh.
Anyway, so Whoopi was calling basically to back up what the daughter was saying, and Art said, Wendy didn't say anything, and yada, yada, yada. And Whoopi was speaking in calm tones, but greasy effect.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Yeah, a greasy effect, but calm tones. Kind of like this. Well, you tell Wendy, like no screaming and rah-rah, but Miss Goldberg, the last time I talked with you, believe it or not, I was actually pumping my fist for your sitcom, which was so politically involved. Remember, there was a very political sitcom, and I actually loved it. It was a power hour. It was your sitcom and then somebody else's sitcom, and both of them were canceled there for like 8 shows. So, Miss Goldberg, I love you. And while I'm sure I've talked about, your daughter and her having the baby and whatnot, and in the past, it hasn't been. The last Goldberg I talked about, what was actually you saying, I love this sitcom, and then, oh, damn, it's been canceled. I mean, if you want to know the real truth. But it's nice to know that she has your cell phone number, because then that means that next time she's in New York, maybe she'll come by. And I was just talking about A Color Purple, so maybe she'll be on Broadway. She's not doing anything now. Maybe she'll be part of the Broadway casting of A Color Purple.
Or introduce it.
Yeah, or introduce it or something. Or come up here to talk about it. Yeah. Las Vegas! Whoa. The Aladdin Hotel is right next to the MGM. And on, I don't know who's going to be going. I mean, for New Yorkers to like hop a plane and go to Las Vegas, the flights are pretty cheap. And a lot of us enjoy like the Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor, Vegas, someplace other than going to Atlantic City set. If you happen to be out there for the big fight on July 16th at the MGM Grand, don't forget the after party to the fight, which is also incorporating my birthday party, is right next door to the MGM Grand at the Aladdin. And the party's going on. Open bar, free food, and VIP. So go to my website for more details. It's thewendywilliamsexperience.com. Don't forget to put the in there or you'll be all confused. Alicia Keys is about to do a movie about a pianist named Philippa Shulia. And I don't know who that is. I studied piano for about 5 years. But I usually didn't get past the snacks and scratching Mrs. Scott's head with a little fine-tooth comb. You know how you scratch, part, and grease. Scratch, part, and grease. Scratch, part. Shout out to my old piano teacher, who happens to be a legendary friend of my family. That would be Helen Scott. She's a public school teacher at one point in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And one of my mom and dad's great friends, and Mr. Scott, and shout out to their daughter Millicent. We all grew up together, one of the few black families in Ocean Township. So they lived within walking vicinity to our house. So I'd walk around there, and she would teach me out of the book, teaching little fingers how to play. But I would spend more time probably having snacks, because Mrs. Scott always had good snacks. My parents would deprive me of food. And, Millicent was a very thin girl. So Millicent was able to, eat up a storm. She was my brother's age, Millicent, and 3 years younger than me. But I used to be able to go over there and eat all the good snacks. Zingers and Ho-Hos and endless, popcorn and chips and grape soda and stuff. They always had great snacks. And I would scratch Mrs. Scott's head. She would always love that. Nice, thick head of hair. And, you make those fine parts. A fine part that you scratch. And then you make the with the pointy end of the comb. That's how you make the part. And you bring it over. And you scratch with the teeth of the comb and like that. So I didn't get much piano playing done. Never learned how to read notes. I fooled her the whole time. I played the clarinet, too. I never learned how to read those notes either. I fooled the whole time. Anyway. Alicia Keys is going to play the role of the talented Ms. Philip Shulia, who died in 1967 at 35 years old. But it's a film produced by Halle Berry. And this is what Alicia says. Halle's developing the film, and it's in screenwriting phase right now. It takes a minute for movies, And basically, Halle revealed her excitement to... for having insured Alicia Keys' services by saying, I adore Alicia, and there's nobody more perfect for this role than her. That's terrific. I like to see the girls working together like that. Do you know what I mean? They say that, romantically speaking, Oprah. What do you want me to say next? What do you want me to say next? What do you want me to say next? Oh, the locksmith is laughing over there. That Oprah is allegedly all in Hallie's business, like always giving her romantic advice and stuff. But you know what Oprah's doing? Trying to steer Hallie clear of everything. Oh, even the locksmith is nodding. You know what I'm saying, Sam?
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
That vulnerability of Halle Berry, all those whimpery tears, and the emotional instability that she exemplifies, and then Oprah. All that money and so assured of herself, and you know, the queen, the reigning queen over all of those Bambi type actresses. Tyra Banks, Halle. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. He says, I agree. Oh, man. You think I'm supposed to be signing off here or something?
Yeah, you started the sign process now.
I mean, I'm looking at the clock. Now, don't make me run over into Vaughn's show. We're continuing the Luther tribute. This is the only time during the day when it's stopped. That's because it's the bonus hour. Look, you all, this is where I'm backing out of here. You know, while we love a good drilling here on the show, the locksmiths, the drill and the teeth drill and stuff, I don't think the drilling would be appropriate for Vaughn's show. So you have approximately 10 minutes to finish your job. Otherwise, you'll have to come back tomorrow because Vaughn's not having it. Okay. All right. Well, Vaughn Harper's next with the Quiet Storm, y'all. Chris Welsh, by the way, is hosting Lounge 42. Yesterday, I said I didn't know who's hosting, and I'd be up in there, but I'm going to be up in Foxwoods tonight, and then New Haven tomorrow. So I'm going to be in the whole Connecticut area, this weekend. But Chris is going to be at Lounge 42 tonight. This is 42 West Broad in Mount Vernon, and it's 23 and older for the ladies and 25 and older for the gentlemen. You all have a wonderful weekend, and I love you for listening today. Come back on Monday if you'd like. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Broadcast day has completed.
Aw, man!
And WBLS music starts next.